Enti odi Ahenkan any TikTokers abe clashing with His Excellency the President. John Mahama ewa afam baako the big push road project na nsi okolo nche ye ewo ni go plan constituency now. Omo abe throw Mahama question on that. Ana face no. They to ho then say dem go say ogotwa atro. But say say ogotwa atro to the media for no. Eno Ghana for no abe clash with His Excellency. Mema won chiri mu no akere wadwen ama me. Ewo comment section. Aha yi Penyah block media. Mesro say any demo. Obe like if video no under my subscribe button is not by click notification icon no latest update na be chire wa adwen dia ma me e comment section. Let's also about so no share video for so enya bi ahwe. Let's start with event happen here e won go Papa constituency. Obe ka yakọ 24 election when in fact any for no omo campaign no dey na ensem wom. Omo policy obi go from there na any so pay yi na any so as omo timi ye ya. Anka ebe bo man. Omo nsimu twiri go paper so no and coalition with the ano Edinburgh. And by the big push road project. Come on, I say Ghana, ya quite ya quite especially the flag crab kumason. Quite 18 oba. Open any aqua quine and some who say cause many accidents claiming life any other day. Am I told you Mahama ever track? I say and Bosimba kwatwam mienu atwam ensa atwam ene atwam as yantehwe 18 July mu no ana road minister honorable governance ebeka say Ghana for munya botre na minim say dia mo twan the big push road project say ebeba na Ghana no ya kwan ne bitima stand the kwan no na de o siesie kama be kwan ne ya to menze mo da so bat mo twan July ya mu no wono mo be hu project life and colored ema July no na ya twan ya etikoda ya ntehwe Yes, August te koda yanto but ebusia yeti see September mu no exactly 16th September anyone say Excellency the President okopie mu ewo Penyah ewo ningo plan constituency Greater Accra region mu na eho no ana launch the big push road project no.
Let me acknowledge our Vice President of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, Nene Tete Waka III, and other traditional leaders, Nime Name, who are here with us. Our Minister for Roads and Highways, Governs Kwame Agboja. Our Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Oklu. Member of the Council of State, Nene Drolo Sepualo Adamte. Senior government officials, members of the clergy, and my elder brother, Reverend Markwe. It's good to see you again. Management and staff of the Ghana Highway Authority, management and staff of Oswald Investment Limited, regional and constituency executives of NDC, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, fellow Ghanaian citizens. In 2020, when I ran again for president, the manifesto that we put forward to the people of Ghana included this same program we call the Big Push. The World Bank had estimated that Ghana suffers a deficit of $1.5 billion every year in infrastructure investments, especially in the road sector. And so the idea of the Big Push was to set aside and prioritize investment into the infrastructure sector, especially in roads. And so in 2020, in our manifesto, you would have seen the Big Push, and we said that we're going to invest $2 billion every year in infrastructure, especially in roads. Unfortunately, we did not win that election. And so the Big Push remained a dream yet to be born. By the grace of God, in 2024, the people of Ghana gave NDC the mandate. And that gave rebirth to the Big Push program. And so it is a manifesto promise upon which the people of Ghana voted for us in 2024. Indeed, I remember when I went to the palace of one of our traditional rulers during the campaign. And he told me, he said, President Mahama, we will vote for you. But if we vote for you, if you don't do anything else, just fix all the roads in Ghana for us, and we'll be satisfied. And so that had stuck in my head since. And so from January 7th, we've been packaging, designing road projects across the length and breadth of the country. The big push touches all the 16 regions in this country. Every region is going to benefit from its share of the big push programs. Now somebody will ask, what's the criteria for choosing those projects?
Agency Kabosia obehia edi project ne $10 billion. Na obekaya enche bia no mo launch omo cut sort and as omo launch free sanitary pad for girls in school. From there the yanti wo hwi 400 million Ghana cedis. It is kind of 4 trillion. As a waste because from there no program na say we say check pad me say man kura pad ma akoma man kura na omutimba program ni bi. Everyone no there maintain as the pad there's in bia ko this school bi ma ye chema ma no everyone maintain hey. Say no launch 24-hour economy. Omo launch yen everyone nothing dey move. Ye won hwi bi just say launch ya na academy na say dey. Now let me take you back. Over here 2013, you have got 2012 election. Now His Excellency or your presidential candidate because that time on the test us, you know, or be try about something like na akaman katamis na memu abawi no. On say atamis eja to it Mahama ene beto aso. It Mahama so 2012 election no. On certain, you know, the police Emma or convention adibi Mahama can say oba obesi the biggest IT hub. Ewa West Africa nyina ewa Ghana ha the biggest IT hub ko ga say oba ama youth no he is coming for the youth enti no obese or the youth ni fund tiem ewa IT level ho no no say bia ebeboa ko say wiase we no IT na really enti mama e kan sem we 2012 the campaign mu e ma to about 2012 already ye enti mama etena kunya so 2013 7th January 2013 na yeduru exactly 13th March 2013 no and His Excellency the President John Mahama oba na kopie mu Accra na hono no and that policy no can oba obesi the biggest IT hub in Africa Ghana hono no oko launch okoya short cutting for that program or to the Hope City project because I said that project no edidaso every youth no it never can Mahama 2012 campaign na ya the edidaso aba the Hope is coming. It ought to project in the Hope City project. The biggest IT hub in the whole of West Africa. Osin Ghana, Accra. And I said that project will continue here. Now ebefa enipa 50,000 plus. Ebe to employ you to 50,000. And now the tension the case the tension 885 feet tall. Just na enye project keto Emma Mahama e launch here. And the Kabosi obe here $10 billion or launch with $10 billion. Mahama added $10 billion and launched that particular program. From there, yanti she biem. Emo launch or say or the 3 years per 3 years. ABC that project maybe 3 years. Now Fred Mahama tina kunya so onya bosumi miedo. Or so the 3 years ABC awie. Yanti won popu ye biem. It was a launch big push road project no. Eno no di Ahenkan. Ebusa question say His Excellency. Enya fragadam ya 2013 what the Hope City that I call a shortcut in and you been a will say be Anna
and some people not so a Hope City. Hope City. I don't know if you are signal, Miss Big Push now, many baby to me book. Now you to a man near Hope City. I'm Casoma Bay, I read you away. I read you. My friends Agambila. No one got a bill. What way? Or retentive member in your Juma. What fine? That man penny to 2V8. That was 10 billion. I am saying 10 billion. So on the Hope City. And it has one cry, man. I hope not. O mention 70 mo. You are still happy at all guy.
Hey. Asɛm wo.
Amen who if you have.
Me say bibi biala ebetwam ginya me asɛm.
Nipa ko na signal me say. Mani gi agene me slow down kakra. Na mu say big push no eye adwuma na.
Na home city no omko amde so ko form.
Oh omko twa fande omko ye short cutting na me kai.
Na eba ne sen.
Amana hwe.
Yante ho asɛm obi anka hwe ya nkyere ye bi.
Amana hwe. The buy and the buy.
Anytime President Mahama promises you of a $10 billion project, don't be happy. Be very skeptical and be a pessimist. Why am I saying this? In 2013, in his first term as president, President John Mahama promised of putting up a $10 billion Hope City project, to the extent that even Chris Brown was brought here and paid $1 million just to perform in celebration of a $10 billion Hope City project. Countrymen, it never saw the light of day. In their manifesto again, they put it that they have this big push agenda, which is worth $10 billion again. Just quite recently, the president cut short for the launch of the $10 billion big push project. In this case too, I don't want to be a pessimist, but ladies and gentlemen, the question one will ask is, why does the president always give $10 billion to his flagship program, which never sees the light of day? So we pray that this time around it's not going to be a 9-day wonder, just as we've seen in the Hope City project, because Abanwe settings are buying.
What I say? Enye bi na obeye. Ana we was esa. Na be ke Mahama meeting the media no. There was an incident of Mahama Ekas. Oh, Ghana no. We've been able to survive without borrowing ever since Obetina Kunya so. Emma says Mahama can make me bizarre more than say the media for no got no koye dey. Because I'm with me trying a whole so the penny come through case say chirem. Because as of June 2025, now Ghana a debt stock, total debt stock no, a movie from $49 billion to $59 billion in just 6 months. Mahama tena kunya so no 6 months, pe na Ghana yeka, yakobo bosnia over $10 billion abeka ho. Na eno no ana comedians or TikTokers for evidence say, sa bosan akwaje pa na. Mahama this can never ye de. Omi hia nchiri mu.
News have reported it. Bank of Ghana have reported it. So, as of the month of June 2025, the debt stock for the country has ballooned to from 49.5 to 59.5. That means $10 billion was added or have been added to the debt stock by this current administration. The question is, how come a government that is barely 10 months and have accumulated debts of $10 billion US? How? I can't understand it. Then I heard His Excellency John Mahama. In the month of that same June, with some kind of propaganda that the debt stock has reduced, that the debt stock has reduced from 726 billion Ghana cedis. That is, the debt stock has reduced by 150 billion Ghana cedis, according to His Excellency John Mahama. That as a result of the appreciation of the cedi. Then I was like, I don't know which economy informed him that. Oh, I don't know whether the finance minister or the governor of Bank of Ghana informed him something like that. I don't know. Because I can't see the reason why the debt stock could reduce like that. in reality, it doesn't happen. Maybe for the optics, you can do it. But in reality, it doesn't happen anywhere. At best, what the appreciation of your currency will do is to show up your GDP. So when you are measuring debt to GDP ratio, you will see the appreciation there. But the actual debt stock can never be reduced. How can that be? I have taken a loan from you, $49 billion. So if I'm paying you, I'm going to pay you in dollar terms. 49, you are expecting me to pay 49 billion and nothing else. Then my currency have appreciated against the dollar. Then I tell you that because my currency have appreciated against the dollar, so I will pay you less than the 49 billion. How? I have taken 49 billion, so I'm expected to pay 49 billion. So the total debt stock for Ghana was 39 billion, right? So if we are paying, if Ghana is to settle the debt, Ghana is going to settle 49 billion, nothing less. You could only settle an amount below 49 billion when you have some debt forgiveness. One part of the debt have been forgiven. That is why you pay less. That is why you pay less. But if none of the debt have been forgiven, you can never pay less of the amount that you are supposed to pay. That is a fact. But you see, for the optics, I can understand why His Excellency said that, because that is for the optics. For instance, if you take the rates 14.7 as of 2024 December and you do your mathematics, you realize that when you compute 726 billion Ghana cedis divided by 14, that was the prevailing rate then, you will have 49.5 billion US dollars. So in that case, so when you take the currency, when you take the appreciation or the depreciation of the currency, to do your calculation, you see that locally, your debt stock in local currency will see some reduction. Yes, you see some reduction by the prevailing rate. When you take the currency appreciation to do your calculation, whether appreciation or depreciation to do the calculation, you do the dollar equivalent, you will see that your currency or the total debt stock in your currency, local currency, will see some reduction. For instance, at the time that you use 14.7 against 726 billion Ghana cedis, right? Or 14.7 multiplied by 14.7 multiplied by $49 billion, $49.5 billion, you have 726 billion Ghana cedis. When you take the same rates, the same amount, $49 billion, $49.5 billion, when you take the same $49.5 billion and do your multiplication by the current rate, you will see a reduction in the local currency. But in actual sense, in the dollar terms, the debt is still the same. That is it. See, take now, as of December 2024, the debt stock for Ghana was 49.5, right? Okay, you take that one. Then you check the rates then, the prevailing rate then. That was what? 14.7. So do the multiplication. How much will you get? When you do the multiplication, you are going to get 726 billion Ghana cedis point something. That is what you get. That is what you will get. So, yes. So you get 726 point something or 727. That is what you get. But if you take the same amount, the same 49.5 billion currently with the current rate, which is 12.6 by the Bank of Ghana, 12.26 if you take the same amount and you do the calculation now, you will have a debt of 606 billion. So, but in actual sense, in reality, the debt is the same. It did not reduce because you have not paid anything. So that is why I disagree with His Excellency and the Finance Minister when they told us that the debt has reduced, through which means that your debt have reduced. Because Ghana is under debt restructuring, DDEP. And by virtue of the DDEP, Ghana is not paying its debt until 2026. So, how have you reduced the debt? You see, I don't know. The NDC, I think they were like, oh, Ghanaians are still gullible. I don't know. Or we have short memory. That's.
Ubet ma chere wa adwe ama me. E wo comment section. Aha yi Penyah Broke Media.